Hello and welcome to Pinball Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at this Bally Dolly Parton machine, which was made in 1979. It was designed by George Christensen and the artwork was by Dave Chistensen. I imagine they're probably brothers. It was ranked 314 on Pinside the last I checked. This came out the same year as Supersonic, Star Trek, Kiss. I'm playing against my wife today. We've moved the machines recently, so we've got Judge Dredd, you can see in Salisbury in the background there. So this machine is quite a nice looking machine. It's been recently refurbished by New Forest Pinball and Keith, as you might have seen in other videos. He's done a really nice job on it and it is absolutely mint, this game. He's repainted the cabinet, he's done all of the electrics. I believe it was a machine which he taught his daughter on how to repair pinball machines. So it's a really nice job he's done to it, and it's currently on tour. Did spend a little bit of time at Special When Lit. There's a link there so you can see where you could possibly play it in the future on site. Now this machine, let's have a look. It came out the same year as Supersonic, Star Trek, Kiss, Paragon, Harlem Globetrotters and Hot Dogging, and that's all just from Bally. So 1979 was a really busy year, it seems, for Bally and some of their machines that they're making. They're also up against some stiff competition. This was the same year that Gorgar came out, which was the first pinball machine with speech. Also Countdown and Genie from Gottlieb, Dracula and Meteor from Stern. So it was a really good year for pinball. Some really nice machines came out that year. George Christensen, the designer, also made games like 8-Ball, 8-Ball Deluxe, Pac-Man, Future Spa, Freedom. That was his first one. There's a homebrew version of Freedom, actually, a Led Zeppelin reskin, which looks really cool. It's worth looking at online. So in this review I'm going to go through some of the things I like about this game, some of the things I'm not keen on, and also explain a bit of the gameplay. So you can see I'm playing player 1 and player 3 here, and my wife's playing player 2 and player 4. Now the thing I'm going for first off, haven't been able to get it that time, is the drop targets on the right followed by the spinner on the right. So the drop targets, the first one lights the spinner for 1,000 points per spin, and on a really good hit you can get about 20,000 points on that spinner because it gives you about 20 spins. So that's a quick way really to get a lot of points. The other thing to go for is spelling out Dolly Parton, and the way that's done is there's some targets in the top left which spell out Dolly, and you see there's 3 still lit which need to be knocked down. Kath's already got the D and the O spelt out as they light up on the LP in the middle of the playfield. To spell out Parton, that's done. You can see I've got the P and the A of Parton, and there we go. I should get the R now. There we go, the third one's lit up, so that means I've got those 3 there. Now they get you about 400 or 500 points per hit, but it's really the bonus which is good on those. You get about 2,000 bonus for each one that's lit at the end of your go, but also if you've got bonus multiplier by hitting those drop targets, like I say, the first drop target lights the spinner for 1,000 a hit, but the next drop target does 2 times, then 3 times, and then 5 times, and then the final target behind each of those drop targets actually gives you 50,000 points on one hit. So that's a huge amount of points, and also quite worth going for. The trouble with it is though, this machine, the way it plays, I've heard some people on the internet say, oh, they're able to roll the machine very easily. This one, not quite so. It's jacked up at the back a bit. We've put it on some blocks to make it a bit of a steeper gameplay. Also, there's not any ball saves on the left or the right. The tilt mechanism's a little bit sensitive, so it's not easy to always get those super high scores. The playfield layout is quite basic. It is from, like I say, 1979, but this is clearly not one that they've spent all the money on adding all the different features to. It's not as complex as, say, Paragon with quite so many flippers, but it has got the sort of classic play that you get from a Bally. It's got really nice flippers. You can do, of course, tap passes, which is good fun. But like I say, there's no... I wish there was a ball save on the right there, like a little gate, which would be really nice, like on Harlem Globetrotters. That just make it feel a little bit less mean. Sometimes, yeah, Dolly can be really mean. You've also got in the playfield 3 pop bumpers. Now, these pop bumpers haven't got any sort of protection between them and the lower playfield, so it does make for some quite frenetic, good gameplay. You've got the saucer at the very top, which is quite standard for a Bally, and you've got the spinner on the right, and then you've also got a little alley lane where the needle is on the LP going back through to the shooter lane, so that'll get you 5,000 points for just sort of one-off hit. It's a bit of a tricky shot, it's quite tight, it's not something you probably go for deliberately, it's just something you might get if you're missing that spinner. So what else is there? You do get a few points for it bouncing off some of the side. There's some switches, interestingly, which doesn't tell you how many points you get, but about 50 or maybe 70 points. So it doesn't really get you a lot, but just bouncing around does just make points as you're going anyway. So that's the Playfield. It's a very nice sort of layout. The artwork is fantastic. On the bottom we've got Dolly Parton in a sort of country western guise, and on the back glass we've got Dolly Parton in a kind of Las Vegas glitzy glamorous sort of guise. Now what happened at the time was when this machine was made, Bally had designed the whole Playfield and the back glass to go with the country western theme, but when they went to Dolly Parton's management they said, oh no, she's now playing at Las Vegas, we want it to be all glitz and everything, and they came to a compromise and said that they'd change the back glass up, they'd leave the Playfield artwork as it was, because it'd take quite a while to change both of them. So that's why we've got sort of these two ages of Dolly Parton, country western and the Las Vegas Dolly Parton. I personally prefer the Playfield. I mean, the country western theme, I'm not a big fan of Dolly Parton, I've not really listened to a lot of stuff, but the Playfield does look really nice, it's really well done, and it's got some nice sort of little flourishes, and the golden theme all works, you know, quite well, but like I say, it's Dolly Parton, isn't it? Next up, the likes. Let's have a think. The things I like about this game is the layout. The layout is just pure fun. Those inline drops are tricky to get, and it is a real nice challenge to try and get them one after the other. I think I'm trying to go for the spinner right now, which is getting a lot of those points. That really does help put them up there. The other things that I like about it, I like the classic sounds. It's one of the first sort of solid state games, so fairly reliable, and you can get different boards for them and things. But yeah, it looks and sounds, well, it sounds great, yeah. The other thing I like about it, like I say, the Playfield artwork does look good. It's a standard sort of affair, it's a good sort of layout, so can't really complain in that sense. The other thing I really like about it, to be honest, it is a Bally machine, and it does play like one. I really like games like Strikes and Spares. One of my first games when I was younger was about Bally Bobby Orr Power Play machine, which I really enjoyed and really got into, so it's really nice to get that same sort of feel from a machine. And the other thing I like about it is this particular machine is like brand new. It's probably worth a small fortune. I imagine it'll probably go to some Dolly Parton fanatic in America at some point, but it's an absolutely lovely machine. It's a real joy to play, so that's really nice. I mean, I say it's a joy to play, sometimes it's really mean. You see, I've been throwing my hands up in this game. It is frustrating. I'm trying to go, there you go, for that first drop target, and then go for the spinner, and I missed, and it drained. Oh, it's so cool. Okay, so next up, things I'm not so keen on about it. Like I said, there's no ball save, so that can be a bit tricky. There's no rollover lanes, so it'd be nice to have some of those, but the Playfield is full, so it is what it is. Like I said, it's Dolly Parton. I'm not really a fan of Dolly Parton. I know she's done fantastic and she's got quite an impressive career, but I'm just not personally a fan. I find this one quite tough to roll. It's very hard to get over the points. I know Keith, when he said he first got this, he was going to change the scoring so that you could get over the million, and you know, see if you get up to 2 million, but he hasn't changed it, and I don't know anyone who's rolled it yet. Anyway, there's some final pictures of it. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.